Dan's just signed a contract and a franchise agreement with Jim's Mowing. Dan, how do you feel about that now? You just signed the agreement.
I'm actually really happy with myself. I think I've made the right decision, and the wife went along with it as well, so that's always an added bonus.
Hey, what were you doing previously?
Before this, I thought my career was in McDonald's flipping burgers. Turned out it wasn't. And then I tried to give a few other places a shot, so I went and did truck driving as well. I went and did a trade. I was a roof plumber for about a year, and they just weren't working out for me. I had a pretty bad run of bosses, and the work just wasn't worth it what you were getting paid. And I didn't like the idea that everything that you were making was going to someone else and you were getting a little smidge of it.
Okay. How did you find the process from the first initial contact right through to signing the agreement, which we've just done?
Well, we've just signed that agreement now, so it's probably been, a month or so ago that I really started this out. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So I had, as soon as I called them up, they said, oh yeah, Jeff, the consultant, will get back to you in 2 hours. He got back to me within 5 minutes, and instantly I was impressed from that. So he came over to my place and we had to talk through it, and any questions that I had, I asked him, and he was able to give me an answer for each one of them. So I thought the process was absolutely brilliant. I went to the training course, asked every question I possibly could. So going into starting my new franchise now, I'm feeling very, very confident.
You mentioned the 6-day training course. How was it out there?
6-day training course was it was a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. I've done training courses that have been 5 days or 6 days before, and they've been absolutely boring, where you're sitting there wishing you could just fall asleep, and no one's going to notice. Put those glasses on with the eyes so no one notices. But no, this training course, I was very awake for the whole thing, and I was getting into it, answering a lot of questions. Always put my hand up just because I was interested in what they had to say. So the more questions and the more answers you ask for, the more into you'll get, and the more you'll get out of it.
Has a franchisor been contactable for you at any time through the process? Every time you've rung up?
Every single time I call up, I've always been contacted by Jeff. So I think it's absolutely brilliant. If he can't answer the phone then and there, he'll call me back within 5 minutes. Brilliant. So I haven't had any issues at all.
Hey Dan, you were attending a franchisee meeting last night. What do you think of it?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I've got another one I'm going to in 6 weeks apparently. But from last night's franchisee meeting, there's a lot of stuff that I learned there that you can't really learn at course, because everyone at course is, they're inexperienced like you, so you can ask them the kind of questions that you would kind of think, and they're thinking the same thing. Where at the franchisee meeting, everyone there's got experience, and they're all there just to help you out, help one another out. I thought it was absolutely brilliant, and they were all in the same situation that I was in.
Yep.
So they knew what I was gonna need to know anyways.
Correct. The coaches are fully experienced at the training course, so you're talking about the other franchisees.
Yeah, the other franchisees that haven't started up yet.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. You asked a few questions last night at the meeting over ride-ons and self-propelled mowers. How's that?
So I got into it, as I said before, with the class that I went to, the 6-day class. The more questions you ask, the more you get out of it.
Yep.
So I figured I'd take that same thought process and put it into the franchisee meeting, and I did the same thing. I asked every single franchisee in the room what they thought the best mower was, what I should go for, self-propelled or push, or I asked all these questions, and I got all the answers, and I got a lot out of it that, as I said, I probably wouldn't have got I wouldn't have known if I didn't go there. Fantastic.
And finally, Dan, do you have any regrets?
Yeah, I do actually. The only regret I have so far is I regret not looking into this sooner. I'm only 24 years of age, so most of you guys will probably have a laugh at that, but honestly, I wish I had looked into this sooner, because this looks like a really good deal.
Fantastic. Dan, I'm going to put this up on our Mornington Peninsula Facebook page and YouTube. Do you have a problem with that?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Thanks, Dan, for your time. Brilliant.